Hey, it's your boy Roy. We're going to be covering Wave 1 of the X-Men 97 toys. I'm going to have my nephew here. He's going to be describing the toys and talking as we go through. I have a set in the box and his set's out of the box. So let's get it going. Starting off with Gambit. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Go ahead.
Christ. So here's the figure. I mean, it looks pretty accurate to the show, as you can see, like right here from the picture. It looks pretty accurate. One thing I do wish they could do is upgrade like the Gambit mold, like give them double jointed elbows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some extra hands, like a normal hand instead of like effect hand. But besides that, it's a pretty good figure. Sure, it's an old mold that we've seen like two separate times,
Yeah, I think it's 2 times.
but it's still good. I mean, you got the basic articulation, like the shoulder joint, elbow joint, bicep joint, hinge joint. I'm glad that they do the hinge joint doing that way, so you can get into like better poses instead of just doing like the standard joint like that.
Yeah.
Head articulation, you can go up, down. You can get them to tilt since there's enough room. Head swivel, ab crunch, and I wish they could give us a cloth cape cloth jacket for characters with clothing
Mm-hmm.
on them, so you don't get like into awkward poses, which we'll see with Magneto later.
Mm-hmm. Now, out of a 0 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being, what number do you give this figure, in your opinion?
Honestly, I'd have to give it a 8. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good figure, but considering the fact that it's an old mold that we've seen many times before, it could use a little upgrade. But it does get the job done though, so that's why it's an 8.
Gotcha.
You can go up that far. Can't really go back far since it's the jacket. You can go out that far. Thigh joints. Knee joint. He could probably go up farther, but again, the coat. Lower leg swivel. Hinge to the foot goes that far. And accessories, he has a card effect, his staff, and as you can see in the box, a throwing card effect.
Which is very good.
Yeah. And for the I'm customized mine just a tiny bit. I gave him a wash in the hair, so you can see all the detail a little better. Because originally it was just kind of bland.
Yeah.
So now you can see all the detail.
Looks good.
So yeah, there's Gambit. Let's do Rogue next.
Sounds good to me.
So here's Rogue. She, again, same situation with Gambit. Same old mold of Rogue that we've had for a while. But they did give us pinless joints on the legs, which I'm glad about.
I'll give her one of these.
New head. Obviously, all these have new heads. But yeah, the figure gets the job done of being a Rogue figure.
Well, so what accessories does she have? Look, she only has a couple hands that she comes with.
Obviously she comes with 2 fisted hands. One ungloved hand and one hand holding the glove that she took off.
Gotcha.
Kind of wish she had more alternative hands. But I mean, this works. One thing I do wish, again, with Gambit, she had a cloth goods jacket.
Yeah.
Because the single jointed elbows kind of suck. Now, considering the fact that we have double jointed female figures, but nah.
So what's your rating for this figure?
Probably a 9.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, it's the same old figure that we had for a while, but you know, the upper torso's new, the legs are new, maybe. And I do like the figure; it looks good.
It does look nice. I do like all the X-Men 97. They all look very good.
Yeah.
Color-wise. Alright, which one's up next? Or do you have any more about Rogue you want to dive into?
Well, I mean, we got the articulation.
That's true. Go ahead.
So since the hair is really long, you can't really get any up. You can get some down though, like a lot. And since there's enough room, you can get a good bit of tilt. And sometimes you don't even need to bend the head to look down. You got that much forward, that much back. Shoulder joint goes up to there. Single elbow, you know, standard rotation. Hinge at the wrist. Leg goes up to there, goes back that far, goes out that far. Double jointed knee goes that far. And then the foot goes that far back, that far forward, and forward facing pin for a rocker. So yeah, there's Rogue.
And your rating was, you said 9.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, who's up next?
Let's do Storm.
Alright, let's do Storm.
So here we have Storm, and again with the last two figures, it's the basic Storm mold we had, and the same thing with Rogue. She has pinless legs now. I do think the torso goes back a little too far.
I guess if you had a fly, it would look alright.
Yeah, but very, not very much forward, which I don't understand why Hasbro does, but meh. Now, I will say, I wish they could give us a better cape for her, because this honestly feels like blasted paper. Which kind of sucks, because we know they can make cloth capes now with that new Doctor Doom that came out in that 3-pack. But, meh.
Gotcha. Not many accessories either. There's only a couple hands.
No, it only comes with 2 fisted hands and 2 open hands. But, I mean, it gets the job done. It's Storm. Don't really need that much accessories. I mean, some electric, like some lightning effects.
Special effects would be nice.
Yeah. But it is a good figure. I'd probably have to rate this probably an 8.
I think it does look good.
Yeah.
It's great for putting on a shelf.
Yeah.
It's the classic Storm.
For articulation, again, like Rogue, you can't really get that much far back because of the hair. You can get some good forward. Again, with the last two figures, you can get some decent head tilt. Torso, as I displayed earlier, goes that far back, that far forward. Shoulder goes that far. Single joint elbow. Hinge joint at the wrist. Leg goes this far up, this far back, this far out. That's actually pretty decent,
That's
actually.
pretty good.
Leg goes all the way back. Leg goes that, foot goes that far back, that far forward. Forward facing pin for rocker. And yeah, it's pretty much Rogue. I mean, not Rogue,
The
Storm.
Alrighty, which one are we going to go through next?
Let's go Bishop.
Let's go Bishop. I'm gonna go and say this Bishop. I really enjoy this figure. I think it's nice.
This figure is a good figure.
Yeah,
The
right.
box is huge. Like, that's bigger than like most of the boxes.
Yeah. It's a bulky character.
Indeed. But yeah, Bishop looks just like the show. It has it has good accessories. Like you get trigger hands for the gun. You get a fist and you get a grip hand. Well, man, an open hand for some reason, but man. And he has his holster on the back so he can holster his gun. But besides that, he's pretty good. Probably give this one a 7. Don't get me wrong, the figure's
Oh, yeah,
good.
7? That's surprising.
Don't get me wrong, the figure's good. But I'm not really connected with Bishop.
Yeah. Hopefully, season 2 we get to dive more in his character.
Yeah, and like, didn't he like disappear halfway through the season?
Yeah, he did. He was pretty much gone at the beginning and came back at the end. It's...
Yeah.
They didn't really do much.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
kind of disappeared. I mean, but yeah, head goes that far back, that far forward. Side tilts. It goes that far back, that far forward. Swivel at the waist. Shoulder goes that far. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. Goes that far. Hinge at the wrist. So, and then you got obviously the trigger hand goes forward and backwards instead of side to side. Well, it goes that far forward, that far back, that far out, which is not bad. Swivel at the thigh. Forgot to mention that on Storm and Rogue, but they also have that. Double jointed knee. Double swivel at the lower leg. Foot goes that far back, that far forward. Forward facing pinful rocker, and these feet are actually very well. This foot is actually very easy to move. I don't know why that is, but it's still good. But yeah, there's Bishop.
And next up, which one are we going with?
The best one probably out of the wave. Wolverine. Now here's Wolverine. And honestly, this probably has to be the best figure out of the wave. People are overpricing Rogue. Don't get me wrong. She's a good figure. But it's the same mold with like new molded parts. But it's the same old Rogue figure that we've had for a good while now. But this Wolverine has brand new legs, brand new arms. Brand new legs. I already said that. Sure, reuses some parts from the VHS Wolverine, which was kind of expected since those two were meant to be from the same series, sort of. One from the original 90 series, and then one from this one, obviously from X-Men 97. Now, as you can see, I've done a little bit of customizing on mine. I gave mine the VHS gritting teeth Wolverine head. And I dry brushed the hair onto his shoulder. Now, I can't take credit for this. This is not my original idea for the hair. I got this from a YouTuber. Hold on. Here we are. VAD Toys. Where he dry brushed the hair on Wolverine's arms and gave him more stubble on the face, which I also did, but not to the same degree as he did. But yeah, check his channel out. He does great customs and all that. But yeah, besides that, this is probably one of the best figures out of this wave, even though I have a little reuse.
What's the score going to be on this one?
Probably a 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, best figure out of the wave. I know this is a little biased, and everyone probably says that, but I stand by my beliefs.
I would agree. It's
Yeah.
fantastic Wolverine.
For articulation, you got that far up, that far down. Good tilt. You can go that far back. Yeah. That far forward. Honestly, that's probably how it's supposed to be. Butterfly joints. The first one out of this wave, sort of. Articulation at the shoulder. It probably goes up more, but due to the sculpt, it's kind of hard to get them more up. But it probably does go up more. I just don't want to force it. I'm going to count this as articulation. The shoulder pads move, so it can get out of the way. Swivel at the bicep. The little elbow goes that far up. Wrist goes swivel at the wrist and hinge at the wrist. Swivel at the torso. Well, that goes that far up. That's actually pretty good. That far back. Again with Storm, that's probably a decent outward kick. Double knee goes all the way up. Swivel at the boot. Hinge at the foot goes that far back, that far forward. Forward facing pin for rocker. And for accessories, completely forgot to mention that, he comes with obviously clawed hands, fist hands, neutral head, and unmasked head, and laid down cowl that you can put on his body so it looks like he took off the mask. But yeah, if you have to get any figure from this wave, I'd recommend Wolverine, because even though he's a little pricey, not as pricey as Rogue, but if you can find him out of the box, grab him with all the accessories, of course.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the last figure in Wave 1.
The last figure in Wave 1 is Magneto. Now, I will say, I modified mine. And this is the biggest modification out of this wave that I've done. Considering the fact that this is a whole new body from what's in the box. This body is a Vulcan body that I used so he can match with the purple suited Magneto.
With this Wave 2 one, which
Yeah.
has the Vulcan body on it as well. Which I was surprised they didn't put it on this one as well.
It was probably because the cape.
Yeah, it probably was a kid.
Because it was molded into it. But yeah, I just painted it red, painted the trunks on, gave it a belt, glued the cape on, and yeah. The reds are a little off on the body, but it's pretty close that I don't mind it.
So it looks really good because you customized the whole chest.
Yeah.
You used an old Batman body, correct, for the top part of that?
Well, I mean, it's Vulcan, but it was originally a
Yeah.
Batman that
Yeah.
I made it into.
Yeah. Which looks really good.
Yeah. So for articulation, this is going to be a little off since...
And the one you have is going to do
Yeah.
a little more than the one in the box.
Yeah. But this will give you a heads up for the purple suit Magneto.
That's true.
Head goes that far up, that far down. No tilt, swivel. Hinge on the body goes that far back, that far forward. Swivel at the waist. Butterfly joints. Shoulder. Swivel at the bicep. Double elbow. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. The head, arms, and legs are all from this Magneto.
Yeah, so the only thing that's different is the chest.
The chest is completely different. Everything else is from that figure. Double jointed elbows goes that far. Hinge at the wrist, swivel. Legs go that far up, that far back, that far out. Probably the third best one out of the wave. Double jointed elbow. Knee goes that far. Foot goes that far back, that far forward. Forward facing pin for rocker. For accessories, this Magneto only comes with a pair of grip open hands, like splayed out hands to use his powers, and 2 fists.
Gotcha. Now, since you customized yours, well, let's say the one in the box. What would your rating be on the one from the box?
I'd have to say a 9. It's a good figure, and you don't really need to customize it. I only customized mine because I wanted mine to match with the
Wave
other
2.
Magneto.
Wave 2 Magneto.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah.
And that'll do it for the Wave 1. So I thank my nephew for helping me out with this one. He does a lot of custom toys. He has a huge collection of customs, everything, some plush, toys, etc. So I think I'd grab him on this one. But yeah, that's the Wave 1. We gotta get you a Cyclops. Once we get him a Cyclops, we'll do Wave 2. That's the only figure he's missing from Wave 2 is Cyclops. And then we'll do a video talking about Wave 2. So, yeah, and to the next one. See you later.